Welcome everybody back to GoSycamores.com. The MLB draft is currently in progression. The final day, day 3 of the MLB draft, which it got started early for Indiana State, with Will Kincannon being taken off the board in the 11th round to the Chicago White Sox, an area he's pretty familiar with up there in Chicago. Join us now here on GoSycamores.com to go through the process of being drafted by the Chicago White Sox is none other than our own Will Kincannon. Will, congratulations on being drafted by the White Sox. Take me through really your emotions and what they have been like really the past couple of days.
Well, very stressful. So I was here in top 5 rounds, and some things were going on, and teams were very interested, and then a lot of the teams that were interested in me overpaid on their first 2 picks, so then they didn't have the money to pay me, and then some teams were trying to get me for lesser in the 6 to 8 round range, and we couldn't agree to that. And then all of a sudden these teams started picking senior signs for less money, trying to save bonus pool money. So then I kind of realized I wasn't going to get picked. It was pretty stressful and obviously a frustrating day, but right after the 10th round end, I had about 25 teams call and say they're really interested, and we kind of sorted out the teams and whoever was going to have the best offer. And I knew before today that the White Sox were going to take me with their pick. So it was pretty exciting, definitely. And like I said, cool to get drafted by the team that I grew up rooting for sure.
What was the biggest difference from the first time around you went through the draft process, being drafted 29th round to the Dodgers, to this year being the 11th round, Will?
Last year, I was probably more stressed last year. I was in a situation where obviously I was committed to Indiana State, a different school, and I was fully committed to coming to school. I had to take 24 hours of summer courses to even make it there to get my associate's degree, and then you got the draft coming along, and you're here and you might get the money you want, so I don't know, I have to take the summer courses. There's a lot of things that went into it, and this year it was kind of a whirlwind. Obviously, like I said, it didn't play out how I expected to, but I've kind of realized the draft is kind of a wild card, and you never know what to expect. There's guys that don't expect to be taken in the top 10 rounds. They get taken in the 5th round sometimes. So anything can happen, and now it's just time to get to work and prove to people that passed on me that they were wrong.
Looking to your time here in Terre Haute, what do you believe, Will, was the biggest thing you learned or garnered during your time as a Sycamore that allowed you to propel your stock to where it was this time around through the draft?
So much. Not only on the field, but off the field. Just being able to get away from home and meet new people, meet friends, meet teammates. Learning so much on the field from the coaching staff. I mean, coming from high school and junior college, I could kind of blow them away with my stuff and my fastball. I mean, if you're throwing in the 90s or sometimes mid to upper 90s, there's not going to be many people that hit that at those levels, so you can kind of challenge people. But when you get to the Division I ranks, there's professional hitters there, and I mean, you're going to have to pitch, and you're just not going to be able to throw. And I've learned how to pitch over this course of the year. Early on in the season, I was a thrower, and then I learned how I need to pitch and just holding on base runners, just little things you don't really think about as you're in junior college and high school, because you really don't think they affect you because there's not many people on base to begin with. But just little things, hearing ticks here and there that have really made me a better player. I think it made me so much more prepared for pro ball, and I just think it was one of the best decisions I ever made coming to Indiana State for sure.
You kind of hinted at it a little bit, but did you think back when you committed to Indiana State, playing at the Division I level, that you would have learned as much about yourself as you did in that 1 year?
No, because I mean, to be honest with you, I learned so much because I had struggles early in the year, and I've never really struggled in my life in any sport really. And I just think you learn a lot about yourself when you're struggling, and a lot about what you need to improve when you're struggling. And obviously, early in the year, it was a struggle. I mean, wasn't commanding the ball very well. Was walking people. People were stealing on me. Wasn't making good pitches to their best hitters, and I was getting punished for it. And I just think I learned so much because I struggled early, and it was almost a blessing because I talked to all my coaches at Indiana State after the season ended, and they said, no matter what happens with the draft, they said, you're so much better prepared for pro ball than you were before this year. Just everything you went through and everything you learned, and I couldn't agree more. I wouldn't have changed a thing.
It's evident that you were able to do it. And what I mean by that is, and what I mean by it is, channel that early struggle to late success. How were you able to do that, Will?
I think it was just learning how to pitch, not being a thrower, and just being a competitor out there. I've always been a guy that competes, but I've also been a guy that tries too hard at times, tries to do too much. And I just think once I struggled early on in the year, it was more like, don't worry about the scouts behind home plate. Don't worry about anything else. Just worry about this hitter executing this pitch and making this pitch, and that's when you get outs, and that's kind of what I learned to do. And like I said, the coaches helped me along the way, the mental part of the game, probably more than the physical, honestly. The mental part of the game, and they helped me so much in that part, and I feel like I'm so much better for it.
Will, looking ahead, what is the schedule like for you in the coming days?
They called me right after the draft, but congratulations. We want to fly you out to Arizona tomorrow. I wasn't really prepared for that, so we'll see. We'll see if I go out to Arizona tomorrow, and after that, go to short season wherever they send me, and just obviously get to work and work on my game and work on my craft, and obviously work on my job now. So.
Now a member of the Chicago White Sox organization, Will Kincannon, drafted in the 11th round. Will, congratulations again on your selection to the Chicago White Sox, as you brought up, a team you used to watch growing up as a kid. We appreciate you taking the time to talk to us on GoSycamores.com, and we look forward to many more conversations with you at the professional level, Will. Thanks so much for calling in.
Thank you so much, Luke. Keep in touch. Appreciate it.
Be sure to stay tuned to GoSycamores.com for continuing coverage of the MLB Draft, as we hope Will Kincannon's name is not the last Sycamore to be called today. For more on the draft, stay locked in to all of our social media accounts and, of course, GoSycamores.com. For Will Kincannon, for everybody with Indiana State Baseball, I'm Luke Martin.